listen to a young girl who was saying that the Nigerian community here is totally very angry. Thank you very much for our
It was the Ijo country of the Niger Delta of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. He went to several schools. His major academic emphasis was at Government College in Delhi. And
go gather, destroy their food. With the camp and that other camp, no compensate everybody.
in its key generation sometimes. Today our focus will be in the style of J.P. Clark, a poet and writer, and we shall also be very interested in his point at more dancing.
Some lives are meaningful, some are empty. There are lives that are meaningful, with too much meaning and riches to offer humankind. Now, after some of these earthly adventures and more, one can still find footprints of these great lives on the pavements of our contemporary life.
Good evening, you're welcome to the program Green Planet.
Good day and welcome once more to my art corner. I will be painting scenes from nature, and painting nature is very vital in this century when we are advocating for the conservation of nature. So therefore this kind of painting is very relevant, as we know our world is facing threats from climate change, the degradation of soils. We are even facing issues of malnutrition and so on, and we are losing the natural beauty of the world to activities of man, and sometimes even unexplained aspects in nature and the things that we've not understood in science. So you have the board, it's empty as you can see, and we will be proceeding to paint. I am Arrey Ivo and you're welcome. Yeah, I will be using this material as part of what I'll use to prop up the surface of the board to give it some kind of 3D effect and to make our outcome more unique. I will be using this brush to get some gum, white gum, and then I'll place white gum in certain areas of the canvas so that it can hold our fabric that we have. So this is why I've chosen to be the areas where I'm going to kind of like make the board to have 3D effect. So I'll be using some colors to smear on the surface of our additional fabric. We have to make sure that it can go well. You have to use a bit of it's a nice technique. It's very good with acrylic. The paint kind of like pulls it down, and it will produce you a surface that you can only find in nature. And yeah, we're on track. I think you've seen something like that in nature, from nature, and we don't want to make it to be too the same. The pathology must change, should change. We're dealing with a very diverse planet that we want to conserve for the generations to come. Therefore, we are calling on those who destroy the planet for sometimes very selfish motives to rethink their strategies and to be more sustainable, to allow us enjoy the process of nature that we've not paid for in the first place, you know. So yeah, I think you've all seen this kind of things from nature, huh? So it's a nice way of sticking the fabric on the surface of the board. So at the end of the day, we are sure that our painting has got 3D effect, you know. You have to make sure that the surfaces at the tip of the fabric is really smeared with paint, in order that there is a fineness as to the work. So we can see what is coming up, and I think we'll be going on to make some watery surfaces at the corner and to continue the creation. So we continue by adding the features and our board. Normally, I think you generally have this kind of features in nature. It helps us to create a landscape, you know. Maybe as in the tropical rainforest, you're probably going to see more of this kind of things, you know. And so you see, the work is evolving, and we'll be there soon to achieve what you're trying to do here. Now I'm attracted to water, and I think it brings out the spirit of life, and that's why we should always know colors have got their own spirit. There you go. You can call this a cloud when it's up here, and it's going to disintegrate into a watery surface as we come down. And yeah, you can see how it's plunging. Maybe I make it foam a bit so that we have the impression it's hit the surface, you know. Yeah, we continue up here, and that theme of nature is not lost, you know. So the painting is evolving. As you know, water is one of the most important aspects in the fabric of creation. So you can see the work is going on. We are blending the colors to produce an effect, you know, on the canvas that's hard not to appreciate. And there's some strange surfaces and strange features in Africa, across the world, that you usually can find biodiversity at its highest. You're your own master as to diversity sometimes, and the work is evolving, and we have to fill the corners to create some form of harmony. You touch it here. Tint of white. Now we are on to making more cloud surfaces. As you can see, and this was a locally made canvas by the African Center for Community in Development. As finished canvases seem to be very expensive in Africa, we need to popularize knowledge about what they are making, even amongst carpenters, in order that the art industry can blossom, even among artists as well, so that they can make their own canvases and add more creations to the fabric of the world, rather than get out of the trade because they cannot afford the final works. So you see the work is evolving, and we seem to be plunging into some really powerful scenes of nature. So you see how the work is evolving, and I'm trying to make sure that we have a lot of water in the lower half. Maybe it's just sizzled here from groundwater, or maybe from rain, as we are trying to paint some kind of, I'm trying to paint some kind of idealism to make us to revisit the idea that we need to conserve, you know. We need to reinstall those beautiful aspects of creation in order that people will miss them. And maybe morality is going to create the need for conservation to play its role. Africa is now affected by a lot of land grabbing, and something needs to be done to justify the need why Africa's lands should not just go. So this is the last touch of our work, And we are now having the final work. Thank you very much for watching my painting. I hope you enjoyed the painting and its outcome. And it has been Arrey Ivo for people, places and events, and the African Center for Community and Development.
Thank you very much. And you just listened to a young girl who was saying that the community here is totally very angry. Thank you very much for the listening from our
It was the Ijo country of the Niger Delta of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. He went to several schools to make your academic education was at government college to Delhi and
Go gather, destroy their food. Make situated camp. And that other camp, Tongo camp, you compensate everybody.
in each generation sometimes. Today I'm focusing on the style of J.P. Clark, a poet and writer, and we shall also be very interested in his point at more dancer.
Some lives are meaningful. Some are empty. There are lives that are meaningful, with too much meaning and riches to offer humankind. Long after some of these earthly adventures are no more, one can still find footprints of these great lives on the pavements of our contemporary lives.
Good evening, you're welcome to the program Green Planet.